And I was like, these motherfuckers is gay. I was like, when I first started really being around men, I was like, these motherfuckers is gay. But then when I got older and I realized they're homosocials, not homosexuals. When I really
Homosocials. We finally found a word. But why do I feel like it's all these men that come? They might be homosocials. They might not be sexually attracted to their fellow men, but they will rather leave their romantic relationship with a woman and go and have a social life with their men or guys. I just feel like almost all these men are like that. They want to use a woman as a smex thing, but then they don't enjoy hanging out with you. They prefer hanging out with their own boys. They prefer going out with their own boys. They prefer spending their memorable times, spending important, days with their own boys than the woman that they're married to or in a relationship with or the woman they are having sex with. Hey, beautiful people. How are you doing today? Check out Maya David and thank you so much for tuning in. In another interesting video, I have this video to share with you all. This lady analyzed the word. And to be honest, this is the first time I'm hearing the word and it makes sense. Homosocials. Mm. Let me read this video for you all to watch and I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video.
I always went to strip clubs for guys. I'm a competitor. I wasn't gonna spend no money if I didn't see nobody else spending no money. As soon as I seen somebody thinking that they got money, okay, you spending 5, I'm gonna spend 6. If you gonna spend 10, I'm gonna spend 15.
I'm gonna teach you about social dominance theory. Some men don't date us because they value us. Some men date us just to compete with other men. Through learning about the social dominance theory, Sedanius and Pareto taught us about the power of social hierarchies. And as we learned in part 1, for many men, that hierarchy revolves around other men. And we have our girl Eve Sedgwick to thank for coining the term homosociality. To reiterate, homosociality is when men prioritize building relationships with other men, often using women as props to solidify those bonds. Have you ever met a guy who name drops his ex or brags about all the girls that he's dated? That's a form of homosocial behavior. The man is showing off to his imaginary male audience. The question now becomes, do women take part in homosocial behavior? The answer is yes, and not in the ways that you think. It's not just my opinion, it's backed by sociology. Irving Goffman's dramaturgical theory explains that people act differently depending on their audience. A man prioritizing homosocial bonds will perform masculinity around other men, as women were often conditioned to accept this behavior. Sociologists like Raywin Connell, who developed the concept of hegemonic masculinity, explain that society holds up this dynamic. Men are taught to seek dominance, and women are socialized to go along with it. The difference here, though, women are mistaking this performative masculinity as strength or confidence. This ties directly into Pierre Bourdieu's theory of social capital. Bourdieu explains that in certain social groups, relationships are an asset. Men gain capital by showing off the women that they're dating. It's less about you and more about what you represent in the hierarchy. Women unknowingly reinforce this dynamic. We've been conditioned to see high-status men as attractive. Word of the day is hypergamy. The idea that women subconsciously seek partners of higher status. Think group leader, the quiet one in the corner that's dominant, and you like, I want that one. Yeah. Sociologists like Catherine Hakim argue that this dynamic continues to fuel the cycle, with women choosing men who are playing the exact games that we claim to hate. We've impacted this in ways that we don't even realize. Pick-me culture, cool girl myth, when women feel pressured to suppress their needs and emotions just so that a guy will like them more. Before y'all start saying, no, could never be me, you've done it. You've done it. Think about if you've ever lied and told a guy that you like sports when you really don't, or if he's ever mentioned a hot take and you agree just to avoid confrontation. Truth is, it's a survival tactic. Judith Butler's performative gender theory explains that masculinity is oftentimes a performance. It's all about who can outperform who. We see ambition, we see charisma, we see confidence, we see altruistic behaviors, and it makes them appear more stable and secure. If you have an anxious attachment style, you're more likely to be drawn towards this type of personality. This attraction to homosocial men is a mix of social conditioning, psychological bias, and cultural reinforcements. But being able to recognize the difference between authentic confidence and performative dominance is crucial. These misinterpretations can oftentimes lead you to overlooking early signs of misaligned priorities. The problem is we are reinforcing these hierarchies. Now, I'm not saying that you're to blame, but this is what happens when there's a lack of consequences to those actions. It's honestly a slippery slope because when you say that you hate misogyny, you're automatically a misandrist. But then if you want to be led by a man, then you're automatically a pick-me. The fact of the matter is we as a society get to decide what's in and what's not, what's allowed and what's not, what's looked down upon and what's not. How much of our behaviors are shaped by these dynamics without us even realizing it? Have you ever had to deal with the consequences of allowing homosociality? Have you ever fed into homosociality for your own benefit? What's the most ridiculous thing you lied about to get a man to like you? Question is, did it work?
I'm not sure who the original creator of this video is, but there's a Muslim sister on this app who made a video about this new term that I've learned, which I love and have been using it non-stop since watching her video. It was about homosocials. So homosocials are men who literally beg it from other men. They aren't sexually attracted to men, but they literally live for the approval of their boys and men around them. These homosocials are the ones that get with women but don't actually even like the women. They live for the approval of men. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's been mind-blowing for me the last 24 hours since watching that video, because I think 80% of our community are homosocial men, because they hate women and they love their boys and they love the men, they love the patriarchy. I swear they're all homosocials. They have to be homosocials. There's nothing else about it. What are you saying? What are your thoughts?
And I was like, these motherfuckers is gay. I was like, when I first started really being around men, I was like, these motherfuckers is gay. But then when I got older and I realized they're homosocials, not homosexuals, when I really opened my mind, I was like, the ass, the tits, it gets them going. They want to fuck you girls. They do, but community, they like to be in community with men. That's why I think former President Trump won, because homosocials put him on the top. They put him on the top. They want it to be where they can be in community with men, from boardrooms to fucking bathrooms and golfing, and they need those clubs where it could just only be men. I don't really, fault them for that. Do your thing, but I just don't want them to try to like only be with men and then control us too. Are y'all picking up?
It's kind of opposite for women. Why it is a thing for a man is because for women it's opposite. When a woman is in a relationship, when she start having a boyfriend or she start having somebody she likes, that is the opposite sex, she wants to always spend time with the person. She always wants to leave her friends. Most of the time, women that get married will tell their friends, bye bye, I'm now married, my husband is my best friend. They kind of put their partner in a situation whereby you are the only one. I want to be with you alone. I want to hang out with you. I want to travel with you. I want to do everything with you alone. But then men on the other hand, they don't do that. Okay? They don't prioritize, most of them don't prioritize hanging out with their partner. They rather spend quality times with their homeboys, their colleagues. That is a boy, mostly men. They just want to be together. They want to watch football together. They want to do this together. They always enjoy that quality time together. You see a lot of men together, happy, laughing. Like they feel that there's this feeling they have when they are together, which they don't get it when they are with their partner. You see a man that I saw a video of two old couples. They went for dinner and this man was on his phone all through, according to the caption on the screen. The man was on his phone all through and the woman was somebody kind of videoed them at the restaurant and posted it. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is a man can do that if he's out with his wife or his girlfriend. If he's out with his own boys, they might not even remember their phones. They might not even remember that they need to talk to anybody, they need to pick calls. They are always very occupied with the conversation. They dedicate everything to their own boys. They, in fact, even when the time that they are going out is not favorable, or maybe they're not supposed to hang out at that point, they will leave everything. Just they can't say no to their own boys. They always want to spend quality times with them. Imagine you going out with your partner and they're always on their phone all the time because they feel like there's nothing to talk about with you because you won't understand what you're going through. And it's not that these men actually share emotional things with each other when they hang out. They just drink, talk about random topics and football. The conversation to me is sometimes very boring. They don't actually open up and say so many important things to each other. I just feel so, right? Compared to when women hang out together. What I'm trying to say is women, on the other hand, when we're in a relationship, they kind of throw their friends away. They don't want to spend time with their friend. It's once in a while they prioritize hanging out with their friends, right? But most of the time, any activities that they want to do, it is their partner first. But this doesn't happen to men. Men would rather not go home after a long day at work They would rather spend their quality resting period with their guys than spending it with their woman. Maybe with their woman at home or something. Even if it might not be at home, you can easily call your woman to come and meet you wherever you are so that you can spend your quality time with her. But they don't do that. They'll rather call their men to spend quality time with them. And when you ask these men, why do you do this? Like, why do you? They'd be like, they are they are free when they are with their boys. They can have comfortable conversations, but then when they are with their woman, they have to be careful of what they say. They have to be careful of how they act. So it's kind of like you just want this woman for smacks, but you like men. If you're a man and you're watching this video and you do this, I just feel like you like men, but you just want to have smacks with women. That's just it. You're emotionally connected to your guys. Because I feel like if you really like somebody, you always want to spend time with the person. You always want to be with the person. You always want to talk to the person. You always want to update the person. You always want to, any little thing you have, any little time, any little thing you want to do, any little achievements, you always want to share with the person. But if your woman is not the very first person that comes to your mind when things like this happen, it is your own boys, guy, you're attracted to men. That's just it. One of the reasons that actually destroy marriages between man and a woman is because the men might be homosocials. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why some women come out and say, "Oh, I'm getting a divorce. He doesn't, want to spend time with me. He doesn't come home. He goes to work. Da, da, da. He doesn't give me attention." Some of them prioritize their friends more than their woman, right? What is your take on this conversation? What's your take on this word, homosocials? Let's have conversation in the comments section. As always, it's your girl Maria David, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.